we are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative. He dare dictate you the same old every single day without this. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Stallone.
Good morning, everyone. I couldn't make it last night. I was absolutely shattered. To do the current affairs, I was falling asleep all the time. Don't know what was wrong with me. And I said to Jason, if I go on there tonight, honestly, I'll be just dropping off. I've done that once before, never again. So anyway, I'm back today, all refreshed. Had a shower before, never got a shave. Didn't get a shave. I'll get a shave later on. Francine's coming down to take me shopping. Then I've got George here, Scott coming to see me later on late this afternoon. And because there's no football. But anyway, I told Sean to watch films. He said, I was watching one, I was watching one and I fell asleep. I had to go to bed. Oh, that's nice. I hope he's watched it, though. There he is, just a lovely man himself, Sean.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
I'm all right today. Last night, honestly, I was really, really tired. I was exhausted. And I had to change. I don't know whether you've ever heard me saying about my electricity. And when I first moved in a few years ago, I got this key. That was presented, and that's your pay as you go. So what's that, pay as you go? Never done this in my life. So anyway, they said, you'd have to go to a shop that sells electricity. And it confused me. I said, what do you mean sell electricity? I thought you brought it home in a bag.
There you go.
Exactly, a bag full of electricity. And so anyway, I got rid of that at long last, because the way I am now, if I run out, I panic. If my electricity's going down, I panic.
Yeah.
And anyway, I got rid of it finally, and I made up. So, but this fella, they had to wait in for him from 7 in the morning till 7 at night, so he could call at any time. So I was up at 6:15, and I had to stay awake. And he came at 5:30. So anyway, when he came, nice lad, you know what I mean, done it within an hour. It said 2 hours, but he done it within an hour. And I was just chatting to him and things like that, as you do. Anyway, he got off, but I was exhausted, I really was. And then I stayed awake. And the next was, by the time, I think it was 7:30, and I was going out at 8. And I thought, I was falling asleep then and yawning my head off. You know, when you get those big, deep yawns, you just want to go to sleep. That's what I was getting. Anyway, I told Jason, and honestly, around just after 8, I fell asleep and I woke up at 11 o'clock. Then I was watching something at 11 o'clock, then fell asleep again until 1:15. I just went straight to bed. And I just slept right through again, you know. So I was made up with that. I've had a good sleep.
It's probably what you needed, Frank. Probably what you needed.
Yeah, that's it, you know. So I couldn't. I was going mad as well, to be honest, because I had a lot to say about Mr. Trump and his new staff.
Yeah.
There's one fella named Gates. Haven't they got funny names, those Americans? Gates or something like that. He's the Secretary of Defense, but he's young.
Yeah.
And I've heard him, and he's so naive. He's so naive. So I wanted to talk about that.
That's not a good start.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to talk about a lot of things, to be honest. And there's a girl who I admire greatly named Tulsi Gabbard, and a former soldier as well. Really beautiful looking girl she is. And she's being put into the intelligence, the same intelligence that we're calling her a foreign agent. And she's one of the most patriotic Americans. So she's head now. But what gets me is that they all have to be confirmed. And there's a fella named Rubio, but he's a war hawk, this fella. And
I think I've heard about him.
He's a war hawk, and he wants to keep the Israeli going. He wants to give them arms and money and everything else, albeit that he wants to stop. He wants to stop giving money to Ukraine. But that's it.
I saw a video of him, and to be honest with you, Frank, I didn't think all that much about him. But there you go, Paul. How are you?
Good morning, Paul. Good morning. We're all okay. We're all okay. Thanks, Paul.
Funny enough, though, Frank, I actually used to work in a company, an electricity company that kind of offered us a service of pay as you go. So I know all about it.
So you know, how I felt.
Yeah.
It was shocking. It really was. But you know, yesterday, waiting for this fella.
Crazy.
Where am I? I put this up.
I like that, yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it, yes. I did watch it.
Can you do a little review on it? Because the acting was superb.
Yeah.
The acting was superb. Will Ferrell. And Anna Friel, I met Anna Friel while she was working here in Brookside years ago.
Anna
she's
Friel
a lovely girl.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Anna
she's
Friel
a lovely girl.
Gorgeous.
And Danny McBride.
Danny McBride.
Could never think of his name, but he's funny.
He's funny. I remember seeing Danny McBride in Eastbound and Down, which was a series that he'd done with Will Ferrell. Yeah. And it was in around the same year that they did this film. Now, I don't think this film was rated very highly in the box office, but it's kind of one of those films, Frank, that you kind of you park common sense at the door and you just go in and just, you know, have a little giggle, you know. But it's just, I mean, they even had Matt Lauer, the disgraced TV host, presenter in America. Yeah. And like some of the dialogue between himself and Will Ferrell is absolutely hilarious, you know. But it's basically kind of a mix between Indiana Jones, a little bit of the old 50s or 60s Star Wars, and there's references of Star Wars.
Even the time machine, there's a little reference to that. you know, if
Sorry,
you know what
Star
I mean.
Trek. I meant to say Star
Oh,
Trek.
Star Trek, yeah.
And as far as I know, Leonard Nimoy was a voice of one of the aliens.
Yeah,
As far as I know.
yeah, that's good.
But the aliens that you see in it, and I'm kind of giving a little bit too much away, are very similar to ones that probably William Shatner would have fought back in the 60s.
That's right. No, you're so right. You're
You
so
know,
right. Where he fights him on his own on some planet,
yeah.
out of the way planet, and you know, yeah.
And I don't think people actually picked up on that. And it was very smart how well they did that. And I'm like, oh my God. So that I could kind of like link the two. But between Danny McBride and Will Ferrell, who've already got a very good relationship on Eastbound and Down, which, believe it or not, I saw like a load of bloopers from that whole series, and it enticed me up to actually watch the whole thing, and it was absolutely hilarious. This it's not like a chuckle every second, but certainly it is very funny. Anna Friel, I was very surprised to see because I hadn't really seen her in much, but she actually was really good in it. She's really
Yes,
good.
she's a very good actress. She's a
Yeah,
very,
she is.
very good actress.
Yeah,
It was pleased
and
to see her. As I said, I met her years ago when she was on Brookie.
well, if you have her number, but but yeah, no, it's kind of one of those films that it's kind of like, nothing needs to make sense, but it's just chill out and sit down and watch it. It's a kind of a goofy, silly film.
I made up you said that. I made up, because you hit the nail on the head. Chill out. It's a chill out film.
Yeah,
That'll make you laugh.
yeah.
It will make you laugh. And what about that? The little
The monkey.
he's hilarious.
The bit that got me, Frank, was when Will Ferrell did the dance over the volcano,
Oh,
and then the music from the machine stopped, and then they had to sing, and then all of a sudden you hear this, oh my God, and your man singing, the monkey singing. And oh my God, that was hilarious. But even the dance that Will Ferrell does is just so funny. It's like, I think he's very like Jim Carrey with the kind of faces that he pulls and the dances and whatever. And to me, he's the funniest man alive. He's the funniest.
Very well, like that to the little monkey when he first met him. He said,
Yeah.
I'm your master. He said, well, I'm going to be a nice, but a very strict master.
A very strict
master. But anyway, let's say hello to these wonderful people. Danfield Roar is with us. Good morning, fellas. Not nice. Not nice.
Good morning.
Danfield. Good morning, Frank and Sean says, our wonderful my oppo on a Monday night, Anthony Brown, international artist, wonderful person. And he says, good morning, Frank and Sean.
Good morning.
Yeah, say 2 coffees for us.
Two
Isn't
coffees?
That nice?
That's lovely.
2 coffees.
I'll have 1 sugar in mine.
The thing is, what do you take, brown sugar or white sugar?
Oh, white sugar, all right. Oh, yeah, white sugar.
No, you're supposed to have brown sugar in there.
Am I? Well, maybe that's where I've been going wrong all of these years.
For years you've been going wrong.
Yeah.
Until Frank, so this time next year, when you're telling loads of people,
I'll be a changed man.
AKLM, your podcast saying that you've got to try brown sugar in coffee. Frank told me last year.
It's another revelation of Frank's, that Frank just brought me. He took me from a road that was going nowhere, and he brought me and guided me to a road of just pure happiness.
I'm sure that's wants to bite me.
What's Anfield Roar saying? Can you go over and play me and Frank the Piano Man by Billy Joel?
Billy Joel.
Did oh, he sees the piano in the background.
Yeah.
Hold on till yeah.
Yeah, right. Look at that. Frankie, your ex-wife behind you. She's chasing Will Ferrell.
That was a hilarious character as well. Grumpy, they called him.
Yeah.
That was very, very funny. Very, very funny.
So out of 10, what would you give?
I'd give it 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
Really? I give it a 9.
I'd give it 6.5.
See, things do make me laugh.
But only because, like, I have, like, there are comedies there that would literally have me nearly going into convulsions, and I would rate them far higher, I mean, Step Brothers, for one, was a fantastic film. Anchorman, fantastic film. I mean, Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber, the first one, hilarious. Those kind of films would be kind of more on the maybe 8 or 9 spectrum, But I did really enjoy it now, I have to say. I did enjoy that,
Well, you couldn't have enjoyed it that much, not as much as me.
Well, not as much as you, Frank. I thought you were going to give me the glasses and say, do you want to go and see that film again? Are you rating it from the time you fell asleep, or what are you rating it from? I'm a very hard critic.
Yeah, Anfield Roar says, I tell you guys what I started watching last night, Mr. In Between. I was going to start to watch that myself, Anfield. I was going to start to watch that myself.
Yeah.
To be honest. But I haven't got around to it yet. I've been watching. There's what else? What other films did I tell you to watch?
I don't think you did. Well, no, I think I had said that I have 2 reviews. I had the Land of the Lost, and I was going to review the Padre Pio film. Do you remember I was talking to you about that?
The what?
The Padre Pio film?
Oh, the Padre Pio, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through that now with you?
Well, let's go through here, some of these here.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Turner. I've been watching Benny Hill all week. Jackie Wright, Andy McGee, and Bob Todd are hilarious.
Benny Hill.
You can't say anything about Benny Hill.
You really can't.
Every sketch that he did, every sketch, and that stupid was at the end. They're all absolutely brilliant, and he's the greatest of all for expressions on the face. Where he goes, just looks at the camera, and that expression.
He's kind of like the Charlie Chaplin,
Stan Laurel, not Stan Laurel, Oliver Hardy did it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you the thing about Oliver Hardy?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's just say these Gary Richards, Tally-ho, Frank and Sean, dear boy.
Tally-ho.
Thank you.
We get 3 coffees.
Tally-ho, my dear chum. We were very good chums as Gary Richards. Tally-ho. No. I watched that film, Survive, you was on about a couple of weeks ago, says Paul Turner. What did you think of it, Paul? What did you think of it? Listen, if any of you lads on there would like to just come on this particular podcast, and give you, even if you just want to come on for 5 minutes and, tell the people about a series that you've watched, a film that you've watched. if you know what I mean. Just say that. He's brilliant, Benny Hill. His earlier work was better than his last shows
Yeah.
he did, in my opinion, says Paul T. He was told to,
Take
with
it
all
down
the sexism and everything else, he was told to, that's why. His earlier work is far better than his later work, unfortunately.
Isn't
But
it
then
scary?
again, it's still funny.
Isn't it scary, Frank, when you think of it, like in a world of today where we wouldn't have the likes of Benny Hill, And I mean, I remember as a kid sitting up watching, sitting up looking at the TV and been in like just laughing my head off at Benny Hill. Probably not the most appropriate things to watch as a kid, but I used to love him.
Yeah. Paul saying it about Survive. I thought some parts were good, but some parts were really strange.
Mm-hmm.
Really strange. Okay, what about Padre Pio? And just give a little overview to the people who, I've been to Padre Pio's church, by the way. I've been there. So tell them about Father Pio first and about the film.
So, like, as being an Irish person, you see Padre Pio relics all over the place. I'm not what I would call the most religious of people, but basically, he was a priest that had stigmata on his hands and was known to be a healer. And the film itself, 2022, it was kind of Shia LaBeouf. Played the part of Padre Pio. It was kind of like him coming back, and we were kind of all expecting for him to kind of make a gallant return back to film because he's been kind of disgraced. He's had some personal problems. The movie, of course, is set in Italy between the two world wars. During which time Pio was a priest in San Giovanni Rotonda, where he spent his entire life. The film itself has very little about Padre Pio in it. Very little. You see kind of flashbacks that Padre Pio had. He was demented by he'd have premonitions and he'd have demons kind of meet him, during the night and what have you. So he was very, he was a very, very tortured man. And I think the film itself could have really delved more into Padre Pio, the person, which it didn't. And in turn, it was really mostly about the massacre of the civilians that took place in the movie, in the San Giovanni Rotonda. And that's basically all it was. It was just the political landscape at that time. And that's all it really went into. You had flashbacks of Padre Pio that did a few masses, did a few confessions, did one healing. And in the end, you see him then get the stigmata. There was no real, it wasn't very well constructed. And while the other actors and actresses played Italian parts, Shia LaBeouf played Padre Pio as straight from California. So he had like an Italian accent. He didn't have an Italian accent throughout the whole film, while the rest of the actors and actresses that played their part at least were Italian or tried to sound Italian. And
Shia LaBeouf, he's one of those. He's not a very good person, by the way, in real life, especially on film sets. He thinks he's the big I am. And to have him, I was going to say, do you think he was miscast in that role? And you're so right about Americans playing, these foreign, real like people, by the way. And they have this stupid accent. That's why I couldn't take Kevin Costner seriously, as Robin Hood.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He had a mid-Atlantic accent,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean,
I get you.
mid-Atlantic. And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Father P.O. is me swearing already.
Ah.
But, and I thought, oh. And then what you had, now, I know the story of Robin Hood, Robin of Locksley, if you know what I mean. I know the story of Robin of Locksley. And when I was, watching it, and he had this, then all of a sudden we had Morgan Freeman in as a Moor.
Yeah.
And I said, is this for real? You see, I like things rather than, I know it's the days now of inclusion, but it's totally miscast about the inclusion sort of thing, if you know what I mean. It goes on anything. It goes on. Yeah. The only time I ever, looked at something about Robin Hood, and I thought it was hilarious, was Robin and his merry men. And even the title says that. Robin and his merry men. What's his name? God blimey, what's his name? It was a send-up of Robin Hood. Americans, obviously. Mel Brooks wrote it. Men in Tights. Robin Hood and Men in Tights. So you knew that was going to be a send-up. I don't mind send-ups. I don't mind them at all. But I don't like serious films where they actually bring in people for the sake of bringing in people, if you know what I mean.
Well, that kind of feels an awful lot like the Padre Pio film, and the thing is that they were all, again, the rest of them were all Italian or all had an Italian accent and what have you. Where Padre Pio, played by Shia LaBeouf, was straight out of California, and he was like effing and blinding, and only God will forgive you. Only God will forgive you, and this is what Padre Pio is meant to sound like. This is what they're portraying as Padre Pio. So in a sense, I'm kind of glad that they didn't really hone the whole film on Shia LaBeouf's character. Because I don't think he was anything like the Padre Pio, that the actual real Padre Pio. He basically portrayed him as a very moody, very American, crude kind of. I mean, some of the scenes in it are very, very dark, but I think it was Shia LaBeouf believing his hype, thinking that he could play such a character because he had the scruff on him, and I'm sure that there would have been plenty of actors that would have done a far better job,
Even Italian actors, but
even Italian actors.
Any films that are made, this is what I'm talking about, inclusion.
Yeah.
They always have to include, if there's a British film, and you'd even go back to the 40s and 50s, which I watch, by the way. And they always have an American in. Always have. I was watching the other day, or the other week, the Trollenberg Terror. The Trollenberg Terror. Now, I know it's a sort of science fiction film, and the story is based on science fiction, right? The Trollenberg Terror. And they had an American, Forrest Tucker in it. Now, the story had no Americans at all, and it's just to sell.
Yeah, to Hollywood.
I don't think it was ever shown in America, if you know what I mean. And it's just this inclusion. Any like Robin Hood, Kevin Costner, come on, playing Robin Hood. Should have had an English. I tell you, who should have played. Well, he was brilliant in it. He stole everything, and that was he stole everything. He was the sheriff, Ian McKellen, not Ian McKellen.
No, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
I love Alan Rickman.
And Kevin Costner, they did a scene where, and he went like, Bank Christmas, and walks out, something like that, Bank Christmas, and walks out. And Kevin Costner went, no, we're not having that. We're not having him saying that, because that was a great line. And this is Costner. So anyway, they said, well, all right, we'll redo it. We'll redo it. There's a couple of things about Rickman, and he went like that. I'm not doing it. He said, I'm going home. That's what he said. He said, he can do it without me. So anyway, he got off. So they had to keep it in. And Costner was going mad. True story, that. Another time about Rickman, and this is actually in the film, right? And it wasn't supposed to be in the film, because Rickman got fed up with waiting for their stars to go, because he was always there, and he was getting fed up waiting for everyone to come on set. And that was Galaxy Quest. Have you ever seen the film Galaxy Quest? Galaxy Quest,
that rings a bell.
It's really good. Tim Allen's in it, Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Well, do you know the scene where Alan Rickman, he plays this this mad character, not a mad character, one of these alien type characters on board a ship,
Yeah.
Like Spock sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he goes like that, and as I said, he was fed up. He was actually fed up with waiting for all them. And the scene cuts, and he goes to the door, and he said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to pub." And he got off. He just got, they kept that in. Because
I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I'm going to pub, because he was fed up with all. I'm fucking sitting there waiting. What about the scenes? I'm going to pub. And got off. They kept it in.
He was a great actor, God rest his soul. Really good.
I loved him, because I seen him at St. George's Hall here. I think it was in 92, 94, something like that. And as I was sitting down in Hamlet, it was Hamlet, he was playing Hamlet.
Yeah.
And he was just standing in front of me, looking up, and absolutely amazing. I wanted to touch him. I wanted to go like that, touch them, man. Absolutely.
And he started very late in acting as well. Very late. And that's enough pity when you think of it, because his life was cut short far too soon when you think of it. God bless him.
The Anfield Road says, has anyone watched Slow Horses? Very good. No, I haven't, Anfield. I'm particularly awaiting Nosferatu movie. That's coming out. I've heard very good things, and since Coppola's Bram Stoker movie, we've not had another director's version. I love Bram Stoker's version, to be honest, of Dracula. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And you get the likes of Gary Oldman, who played him.
Amazing.
Now, the proper, like Slot. I like getting names right. And when Slot said Sloot, my name is Sloot, right? The proper pronunciation is Sloot. So I call him Sloot, right? Now, Cleopatra, for example. Now, Cleopatra, the proper pronunciation of Cleopatra is Cleopatra. Cleopatra. That's the proper pronunciation, right? And Gary Oldman, someone told him about the proper pronunciation of Dracula. You know, it's Count Dracula. Oh, that Dracula fella's awful, you know. Bites everyone. But his proper pronunciation is not Dracula, it's Dracula.
Dracula.
And that's the way, and I was made up with that. I went like, get in there. You know, that's the proper pronunciation of this wonderful thing. Oh.
I personally think that was a masterpiece, that film, from beginning to end. The Last of the Mohicans. Oh, wow. Wow. What a film.
The Last of the Mohicans. You see, ever since a fellow by the name of William Bradford left the shores, he left the shores of England. You know, they were exiled, believe it or not. You know, these people, you know, these Christians, Puritans, they were exiled to Holland. And then they went, we found a place for you. So anyway, they all came over. They went to Plymouth. And they said, you're setting sail to the New World, America. You know, you can go there. So when they sailed, they were actually sailing to Virginia. Right? Now, this is the way you've got to look at these founding fathers. Or the founding father, whatever the fuck I'm well called, I don't know. So anyway, when they got there, or getting to Virginia, that was the main place to get to. But they were blown off course. And they ended up at Cobb Bay, Massachusetts. So that's where they ended up. So when they went into the interior, you know, they said, where the fuck are we here? You know, we're not in Virginia. Because they were expecting people to greet them. And there was no one there. The only people, when they went in, what they seen, and this is never explained in American history because they don't like it. They don't like American history. They don't like all these bad things that happen. Guantanamo Bay, you know, today they don't like going into Guantanamo Bay, you know, telling you what's happening there and what's been happening for years, if you know what I mean. They like to keep it, oh, we're great, you know, we're the Americans, you know, free country, and look at us, you know, we're great. This is what America's like. Ordinary Americans as well, who haven't a fucking clue where they live. Did you know that? They haven't a clue.
Oh, absolutely.
Show them a map. Where's it? Where's your city? I don't know. If it's the city's not there. Anyway, that's another story. And when they got there, they found all this wonderful, they found log cabins. Log cabins they found. Fucking hell, look at this. Look what they found. And when they found all these acres of crops, of things growing. They were, fuck's sake, look at this. And they said it's from Jerusalem, you know, the New Jerusalem. This is why this is it. God's put us here. It belonged to the indigenous American, the Indian. They fucking slaughtered them to keep it. Because they had guns, you see. See, they don't like to say that. When Sir Walter Raleigh sent over his people in 1586, you know, it's what you call the lost people, because they got there and then they went into the interior, the lost people. And even Jamestown, at Roanoke, Jamestown, people were starving because supplies weren't coming through, and these were all like gentlemen, and they expected the Indians, let's call them the Indians, to do everything for them, and the Indians got fucking fed up with them. They said, "Piss off, start fishing yourself now," because they wouldn't do anything. And these had to hunt. The Indians had to hunt for them, fish for them, to feed them. And they got fed up, and they said, "Oh, fuck off, go and do it yourselves now." And they turned to cannibalism. That's what you don't know now. That's what you actually don't know about, the first Virginians. They turned to cannibalism because the Americans were like, "Oh, you can't fucking teach that." I'm talking latter day historians. They don't like saying. It's a fact, though. I know it's a fact. So, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, the truth coming out of America, even in films. That's why I prefer science fiction films and horror films and the likes of this, comedies. But truth films, once I see a synopsis, like saying an ex-special ops finds his daughter kidnapped and murdered by her, you just go, "Oh, fuck that," you know what I mean? He's got to go with us. That's what I mean about that. What's his name? Jason Statham. Oh, fucking hell. He slaughters everybody. Every fit. Can't act. Couldn't act a goat in. Oh, I've seen that. Padre, 1 out of 10.
Yeah, sorry, I had to give that. It was dreadful. Dreadful.
So you don't. Well, you picked it. I didn't.
No, I've been wanting to talk about it for quite a while, because I like to kind of critique some films, and I remember someone had suggested the film to me, and I said, right, I'll watch it. But dreadful film.
Yeah, I've seen Last of the Mohicans years and years ago. Forget it now, to be honest. Anfield and Daniel Day-Lewis. Did he get an Oscar for that? He's won 3 Oscars, Daniel Day. Absolutely.
I think he's won. Has he had 3? I think.
Yeah, he's had 3 Oscars.
Yeah,
Daniel, and he retired from acting.
I think he's coming back though.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I think he's coming back.
Great actor, great methods actor. One of the best.
Of course, we kind of declare him our own actor, but he's an Englishman, but he was fantastic in Christy Brown. If anyone has ever watched that film, very, very good film.
Mm-hmm.
I think he won an Oscar for that, or Brenda Fricker did.
There used to be 2 gangs here in Liverpool. 2 notorious gangs. One where I live here now, and where I grew up as well, around the Scotland Road area. And there was another gang from the Park Road area. And they were big rivals. And I'm talking about the latter part of the 19th century. Excuse me. The latter part of the 19th century. And the Scotland Road gang were called the Peanut Gang. And no, they weren't. They were called the High Rip Gang. Sorry. Because Park Road, the High Rip Gang. And up in Park Road, they were called the Peanut Gang. And they were notorious. They were shocking. And the gangs of New York?
Yeah.
We in Liverpool were going to do that. And they reckon that it was like stolen, if you know what I mean. So the gangs of New York, from our 2 gangs.
It's quite possible they might bring that back, though. I mean, especially with Peaky Blinders being so successful, about the Birmingham gangs, and they're going to
Yeah,
do one about Guinness.
there was nothing on these two gangs, honestly.
Really?
Oh, notorious they were. Notorious. And I'm talking very tough. That's why Scotland Road got a terrible, tough name. Oh, don't walk down there and whatever. And same as in Park Road. Same as in Park Road. See, everything has to be, in my opinion, right to the core of the truth, rather than exaggerating. This is why I like Tulsa King, for example. Now, Tulsa King, Stallone is absolutely brilliant. Great actor and great acting by all the cast. Because what's not in it? All this skullduggery going on. What's not in the series? Have you watched the series? You haven't watched it, have you?
No, not what. Yeah.
See, talking.
He's
disgusted with me. Fella here. But anyway,
he's gonna feed me to Grumpy the dinosaur if I don't watch it.
I should have had it in 3D, shouldn't I? Could have.
You should have, yeah.
That could have been going right at you. I tell you what, I'm going to ask the lads on here. What's missing? What is not in? If you'd watched Tulsa King, what's not in it? With all the skullduggery going on, if you know what I mean.
But I agree, because I haven't seen Tulsa King, I couldn't answer that. But what I will say to you is I totally get where you're coming from with film and it being Hollywoodized and the truth kind of been lost because they have to add a bit of drama. Like going back to Alan Rickman was fantastic in Michael Collins, if you've ever watched it. But there's some...
Oh, yeah, because I know about Michael Collins, you see. And I like Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's fantastic.
But it wasn't to the true Michael, was it?
Well, it wasn't to the true Eamon de Valera either, or Harry Boland either. There was a bit of inaccuracies as to how Harry Boland dies. So it was a bit kind of all over the place, but a fantastic film all the same. Really, really good film. But again, there's a few inaccuracies there with it. And for me, like I've studied up in Irish history. I love Irish history now. I'm a little bit rusty on it now. But, that was a fascinating and a tragic time in Irish history. Really, really tragic. I mean, brother was fighting brother. It was simple and as straightforward as that. But again, Hollywood gets their grip on it, and they were twisting things, and there were some critics there. There was a lot of criticism
Yeah, well, I wrote a play, right, and I wrote this play especially for the horrors of war, the truthful horrors of war, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas, when there's war, you do see the violence and everything else, and you say, oh no, if you see a particular person, I'm talking about the First World War, and he's playing a part, and he get killed, and you go, I don't feel sorry for him, whatever. But my poetry, right, what I read out, and I'm talking about from great poets, I based my play on their poetry. And someone said to me, I was telling him, and I said, he said, so you're just basing a thing on poetry? I said, yeah. He said, how are you doing that? I said, well, I have soldiers who were terrified to go over the top. He said, well, how's that going? I said, but you'll have someone reading out the poem, so that they resonate with that particular fella who's terrified, because you can see a sergeant, saying to this fella, get out or you'll be shot. You'll be stood up against the wall and be shot. Get up there. Let them shoot you. Rather than, us. Get out there. And, it's things like that. One scene I had where you see them. It was brilliant the way it did. Well, not me, but the stage hands did it. And you see all these sandbags and everything, and you see them, they're all looking over, like this. They're terrified because they have to go over the top. They have to go over the top. And this fella who did the sound system was absolutely brilliant. He was great. And he had the proper decibels for what, like a shell, when it blown up. And people were shocked, but they were in the reality of the war then. Because when they were looking over and having to go over, you just see like flumes of mist coming up. And that was the gas. So the poet said, gas, quick boys, and ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time, but someone was yelling and floundering like a man in fire or lime, as under a thick green sea, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in. So it's like they're discarding, a soldier now who's actually dying, but not being treated, and they throw him in the back of a wagon to die. His white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face, like a devil sick of sin. So that's how it came about, and it was very real. And that's what that's why when I look at films and things like that, they have to be realism for me. What these lads wrote about. Do you see what I mean, Sean?
Yeah. No, I get you completely.
Because that was acting that, they were thrown as the flumes, throwing them out of the trench, get up there, but they were coming back. And this fella couldn't put his helmet on, and he was going, You see?
Did you just read that from a screen, or did you know it off by heart?
I know it's off by heart.
That's amazing, man. That's really fair play.
It's like Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare. And where you have when I've done the gunpowder plot, and and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And that was about the gunpowder plotters. That was the gunpowder plotters. That was in Macbeth. So, it's things like that.
Yeah.
And that's how I want people to resonate with things that are actually written by. Now, why I said the poetry is because the poetry was banned, because it was the truth. It was the horrors of war. It was the first two lines of Anthem for Doomed Youth. What passing bells for these who die as cattle. Just think about that. What passing bells, the church bells, they're blessing you as you're going to die in a slaughterhouse.
You keep cutting off there, me Frank. What passing bells? Give me that again.
What passing bells for these who die as cattle.
Wow.
Just you and I were being blessed by the bells, the church bells. Bless you, my son, as you're going to a slaughterhouse. You're cattle. You're seeing no more. You look no more than a cattle, a piece of meat going to the slaughterhouse to be chewed up, to be chopped up and chewed up.
Jesus Christ.
So this is why when I look at, and as I said about inclusions and everything else, this is why I have a current affairs program. I couldn't do it last night because I was just exhausted, and I want to see the truth. We're not getting the truth. It's everything, Sean. It really is, and it's so sad that people sit back and are going, "Oh, look at it." I was watching Piers Morgan this morning. Sounds nice. There's a Piers Morgan this morning. Anyway, and he denies genocide in Gaza. He denies it.
He's a dickhead.
And if you had this fella named Dan, and he was good, Dan.
Yeah.
And when he was saying, no, it's genocide, it's ethnic cleansing. And he went, oh, you hate Jews, you're anti-Semitic. That's the only line they can come out with. You hate Jews, you're anti-Semitic.
What can you really say to someone that just responds like that? I've seen Piers Morgan, and I've literally wanted to slap him, because he's defiantly ignorant and one-sided and biased.
Arrogant. It's so easy. Yeah. You can't say anything. There's a girl named Candace Owen.
Yes.
She's an American.
Yes.
Watch her.
Yeah, I do.
She's a black girl.
Yeah.
She just destroys Kamala Harris.
She destroys everybody that bloody.
Know what I mean?
And,
I was made up with her, and I was watching her.
Yeah.
And I went, wow, this black girl is actually speaking the truth, if you know what I mean. And it was brilliant. And when she called out Barack Obama, she said, he grew up in Singapore and Hawaii, came to America, became president, and then trying to get Kamala Harris in. He said he's from a privileged family. He's from a privileged family. And he goes and gets all these black lads, and started. Here's what she said. She said, once he started calling them my brothers, she said that was the end of it. Those lads just looked at him. Since when have you been our brother? They don't know, because it was great the way she put it. Oh, well, far better than me, you know what I mean? And that's why I like the truth coming out of people who are not afraid to say the truth. The Anfield Roar here. But Daniel Day-Lewis training for the film was amazing. And the Wes Studi plays one of the best baddies ever, underappreciated. Carries on by saying, it was the only film that had no Oscar. The film won it for sound, apparently, and none of the Father name.
Yeah, that was a fantastic film, and that was, I think, more.
I was actually watching that. Anfield Town at St George's Hall and on the plateau there. I was watching.
Emma Thompson was amazing in that film as well.
Great actress is Emma.
And what's the gentleman's name? Pete
Postlethwaite.
Yeah, he was incredible. It was such a sad film, and it was pretty much because I think the the Birmingham Six. Was it the Birmingham? Yeah, it was the Birmingham Six that film was from. They basically, as far as I know, had a part to play in the film insofar as that they made it as accurate as possible. And it was, I mean, if you want to see anything that tells the truth, that's it. In the Name of the Father is what it's called. Daniel Day-Lewis, fantastic. And Emma Thompson. I mean, that's a 10 out of 10 movie, that in itself. Amazing film. Amazing film.
And the Amphier carries on by saying, and there will be blood. Do you see what he says? There will be blood. He's brilliant the way he says that. Just that alone, Daniel Day-Lewis is simply amazing. Just simply amazing actor. The GOAT, as these youngsters like to say. Absolutely. Spot on there, Anfield. Piers Morgan talks out his back passage, says Paul Turner. Yes.
You wouldn't want to knock Piers Morgan back because he talks about it for. I mean, I know there's the whole Meghan Markle thing, and he just takes any pop at that woman. You know, he really cannot stand the woman. But the guy should not have the airtime. No one should give him any airtime. He's just.
What he said to this fella, this town fella, he said, "Are you a white supremacist? Or do you support white supremacy?"
All right.
Okay, now this is how he works. Does Piers Morgan? Do you know what I'd love to say to him? You know, if I was in an interview with him, you know, he's having. Did you hack young Millie's phone? Did you hack? Someone went through to her parents, young Millie Dowling. Yeah. And I went through to her parents, and their parents thought that she was still alive. Is that you, Piers?
Yeah.
Love to fucking say that.
Someone actually asked him that. Someone asked him that, I think, on his show, and he categorically denies the whole thing, of course. But he's in no moral high ground to start waffling out and spouting shite out of him and telling other people how to live. You know,
I hate it. You know, I really hate it. And I don't use that word loosely, by the way. I hate the word hate, but I hate all these people who are so, you know, they're not even tuned in. The likes of the chat are tuned in more so than them. And they've got platforms.
A bigger platform, yeah.
Oh, much bigger. You know, it's incredible. And there's me, little old me, and I try my best on everything. I'm a red, as you know, and I've got this to give away, right? A program. Now I could keep that myself. You know what I mean? And frame it, but I'd rather give it to our lads. They will look after it. I've got this to give away, and if you give this away, you know, that's saying something for the respect I've got for everyone.
And you've so much respect for me that when I see you in December, you're gonna put that on my wrist as well. It's gonna be amazing.
So you see, it's just a matter of, I try to show respect. The other night on a fella named Midnight Toker.
Oh.
Now, I will not speak to anyone, genuineness. You know, there's good lads who I know, and they dare to phone me when they've had a bevy. I will not fucking speak to anyone who's drunk. I've had enough of that in my lifetime with some certain person. And I will not speak to, I won't have a drink in my own. You know, if anyone came, I will not have a drink. I had a couple of mates, he used to come up and see me, you know, a couple of artists actually. And they used to come up every Thursday, and I used to get beer in for them. They drank the beer. and I bought loads of beer. And one day they didn't come up, or one night, and I went mad. That was the end of them. That was it. Finished with them. I just finished with it. After Francine goes mad, she said, "Dad, you know," I said, "No, that's it." I said, "I had to give all that fucking beer out. I had to throw all the food out. I had to, because I brought loads of food. You see, you know, perishable, you know, like food that, like pies and all mad things, you know, whatever. But cross me, you're fucked. You know, that's why I'm not liked. Fucking Carlyle.
You're not liked?
No, I'm not liked. Who the fuck does he think he is, you know? Well, some certain people don't like. Some certain people are doing this. I mean,
but people that aren't real probably don't like you because you tell it how it is.
It's not that. Some of them are jealous. Unfortunately, this is like a personal thing. Like, I go back with my old mates that I grew up with, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, great, all right, yeah, see you again, eh, all right, yeah." As soon as it's turned, they're fucking like that about me. I've been told loads of times by certain people. So it's like, it's jealousy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. I mean, like, Frank, I'm very cutthroat. There was a time where I wasn't, and I got walked all over. And I mean, even when I did YouTubing and podcasting, my own one, Fenway We Come Not to Pay, I listened to all the wrong people. I didn't listen to all the right people. And it was an absolute joke. And I mean, I did hit the drink hard at that time too. I was going through personal stuff that nobody knew about. And, you know, there was very few people that stood up for me. And nowadays, you know, if I could be friends with someone for 15, 20 years, and if they put one foot wrong with me, see ya.
Same here. Same here.
I had a friend there for about 10 years. All of a sudden, he wanted to be a music, or he wanted to be a singer, and he wanted me to be his manager of all things. I mean, me managing someone's music career. I was like, what the hell? And I did a good job of it. He took the piss. We did a fundraiser. He took the piss with that. He raised his voice with me. And I said, "Do you know what you can do now with your music career?" I said, "You can shove it." He took the piss with someone who I knew who had a recording studio, owed that person money, was happy. I tested him. I was like, "Okay, I'll pay for it." He said, "Oh, thanks a million." I says, "I will and me fuck." I says, "I was just testing you." So life's all about kind of testing yourself and testing people and what have you. But I'm very, very cutthroat, Frank. Very cutthroat. I mean,
I think I'm the same, to be honest.
But you have to be. You really have to be.
It's like that midnight toke. And he was pissed because he was misspelling, you know, putting different. Like,
was he actually drunk? Was he? I didn't know that. Yeah, you
could tell he'd been out watching the fucking match. Yeah. England match, you know what I mean? He'd be out watching that. Then he came on. Then he told, once you tell a lie, that's it, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And he said, "I've been watching it from the start." And I said, "Well, fucking tell us what we were talking about then. Just a comment."
I
was watching, but I didn't say that. That's the fucking lie, you see. Anyway, you know, I went off the rail, to be honest, because I don't like talking to drunken people. I really don't. Especially if I don't mind. I go out. If I go out, yeah, you get drunk. You talk a drunken language.
Yeah.
And how we understand each other is still a mystery. in the human form. It's still, well, yeah, you know, how the fuck do you understand that? And yet, you know, you have a genuine conversation. But when they start coming on trying to be funny, and it's over a club that we love, it's over a team that we love, it's over, you know, that we get behind every time, no matter what. I think he was trying to say to us, when you think about it, you just don't like slot or snoot. You know, this is my opinion, what he was trying to say. He wanted us to say we want Jürgen back or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny because I was originally saying something, and then you came out of the blue and I'm not having that, and I was like, whoa, and I thought I had said something, and then you had to go. Oh, I was like, oh shit. So I was nearly blessing myself there a few times.
No.
But
no,
no, he definitely put he was bang out of order.
Yeah, you know, he's trying to have a go at everyone. Even the chap got onto him.
Yeah.
Just tell him to fuck off. Don't even look at it, you know, why come on? See, they're trolls. But he's been on before, Midnight Toker.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little controversial. So we let it go by. Now, I can get rid of him anytime now because Jason told me.
Oh, good.
I said, how'd you do that? And he told me, and I forgot how to do it.
Oh.
I forgot how to do it. So, you know, anyone who comes on trying to cause, like, controversy, they can fuck off right away.
Well, I said to you that I'd happily be a mod for you. I don't know whether Jason...
He sent me the link.
He did. Well, I didn't get it.
You did. He sent it. And it's got please accept or something like that. Jason doesn't tell lies. And if he does,
no, I'm not saying he tells lies, but I'm.
You know, he just sent things out.
Because I got like over 1,000 emails. Did he send it via email or Facebook post?
He wouldn't send it by. I don't fucking know. You'd ask him.
Yeah. It probably got lost in my emails. If he wants to send it again, I'm more than happy to help out. But I genuinely didn't see it.
Well, anyway, I'll tell him to send you that. He sent you about 2, 3, you know. And it just says, please accept. You was even looking at it and said, oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, sure, I'll have a look at it.
Well, I'll tell him to send you that. I'll tell him.
Because I did get like an invite to a Spreaker thing, and I says, was this you? And he says, yeah, sorry, I sent that to the wrong person.
Yeah, that was him.
So that's all I got. But I from what I can see, that's all I got. But I didn't see anything else. Otherwise, I would have accepted it. But I'll have a look through again. I'm having difficulty with emails. I'm after getting spammed out of it from all sorts of sites and whatever. I think there was a bit of a hacking attempt on my email. So
yeah, same as me. You know, I've been hacked loads of times, and it's shocking, really, the way some people, you know, hack other people. And I got thrown off Facebook for fraud and deceit. The fraud, it's like asking you for money. I think I was over that Bitcoin.
Oh.
And, you know, I say like it's you, for example. I don't know what this fucking fella got up to. And I said, I've got 600,000 quid. Send me 600 and I'll guarantee you within 2 weeks you'll have, you know, 600,000. And this is the deceit. This is the fraud. And I got through off for it. Now, I think Facebook are fucking stupid, to be honest. They're a waste of
Absolutely.
time, because they only have to look through me. You know, you could pick any year and go, see if I've done anything.
Frank, they don't bother. They don't bother.
No,
They don't
no,
bother.
you know.
When these social media platforms are at their infancy, they will have more security then. But as it starts to develop into a monster, they then have an automated service. Then you know, anything can go through that loophole, and you could be the poor unfortunate that's had their account hacked, and someone acting in your behalf, pretending to be you, and sending all sorts of other people, and then you get done for it, and it's horrible. I mean, when I was doing Fenway We Come Not to Pay, I had trolls try to hack into my Twitter account and into my Facebook account. There was about, I'd say, 300 attempts in one day. And during the funeral of my late aunt, I was getting notifications before and after we had paid our respects to my aunt, and there was about 500 attempts, and people wondered why I fucking, pardon my language, lost the plot. It's there are some saddos, but there's I could talk for hours on that.
It's shocking. But anyway, what I want to tell the chat, whoever's still there, there's a franchise of Alien films on YouTube, so if you've got YouTube, just get onto them. And there's the franchise of John Wick. They're absolutely brilliant, if you like all this action stuff, and if you like science fiction. I love science fiction. That Alien thing, though, that's ruthless, that is really ruthless.
Well, that's from a Dutch artist. I think he was Dutch. Hold on till I check that now while you're talking there.
Oh, do you mean Alien?
Alien, yeah.
Alien itself? I don't know. But anyway, Ridley Scott, I think he's a great director. And once he starts these franchises, I like J.J. Abrams. And if you haven't seen, chat, a thing called Super 8, watch it. Now, Super 8 is about youngsters, school kids, and they're making a film. They're actually making a film for a school project. And it's not like these fucking teenagers, with beards and everything else, supposed to be at high school. They're all in the fucking 30s. Have you noticed some of them, like Cabin in the Woods and all that? Fuck off, they're not fucking stupid. Oh, blimey. These are proper kids and great actors. Every single one of them, but it's a cracking story. It really is. Yeah. From the artwork of a Swiss artist, H.R. Geiger.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was, Geiger counter, kid counter.
Geiger, H.R. Geiger, he passed away in 2014, but I was a bit of an art student years and years back, and I kind of studied up on him and whatever, and his artwork is scary as hell. Scary, and that came and Alien came all from him, all his artwork.
Well, is his brother still going? Is Counter still going? His brother?
I don't know. Count? I don't know.
No, I'm only joking. Geiger Counter.
You got me again, Frank. I don't know.
He's going to Google it, won't you? Geiger Counter.
Oh no!
Yeah, you see these these great artists, and as I said about this particular Super 8. It's a smashing film. It's not on YouTube, unfortunately. But if you can get hold of it, watch it, you'd really enjoy it. It's really a good science fiction film. J.J. Abrams. I
I
like
think
J.J.
I've
Abrams.
seen bits of that myself. That Super 8 thing. I'll just show you. I'm just going to show you something on my phone, just so you can. That's some of
Oh,
his
is that
artwork.
it? Yeah.
Scary.
If you like art, try and get hold of the artwork of William Blake, the poet.
William Blake.
Yeah, and the Book of Tell. I used to have a book, and it was like that. I can't even tell you the set, like that, Like it was colour. All the pictures inside, like that, they were big long things. The Book of Tell, Thell, and the Book of Tell, telling about hell. Brilliant play on words, and that's frightening. That's frightening. The human form, is absolutely amazing. His poetry is amazing. My mother groaned, my father wept. Into the dangerous world I leapt, helpless, naked, piping loud, like a fiend hid in a cloud, struggling in my father's hands, striving against my swaddling bands. Bound and weary, I thought best to sulk upon my mother's breast. Not to sulk, but to sulk. You see, sulk. Because the dangerous world this baby's being born into, with infant mortality and everything else, it's going to die. Even if he gets to the ripe old age of 17, he's bound to die. Because in one of his poems called London, as the hapless soldier sighs, as the hapless soldier sighs, as blood runs down palace walls. That's the establishment sending you out to needless wars to build an empire. And do you know when that was written?
When?
1794.
And we still haven't anything.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah.
How we think we've kind of, come on in centuries and centuries and still we've not learned a damn thing.
Never. No, we never will. We never. Have you ever seen the start of 2001?
No.
No, that came out in 1968. And you see these Neanderthals, running around and whatever. And they're having a fight, and they're just having a fight, over water, little drop of water. Little, from each cave or whatever they fucking lived in. And they're having a fight. Then someone comes across a carcass, a dead carcass, skeleton. And he picks up a bone, or a couple of bones, and he starts hitting this other bone, and it starts flying up in the air, the bone as he's hitting it. And then you see them having a fight then. So he picks up a bone, and he hits this thing over the head, like who they're fighting with. And it just goes down, and he starts building it. And that was the first weapon. So from a bone, from a carcass, to nuclear bombs. I was watching. I always play music, whether it's classical or whether it's what I like anyway. And what it was "Don't Bring Me Down" by ELO. But they had the Vietnam, the war of Vietnam, and what was going on there. Don't bring me down, right? And you see that. What was good? If I was a Vietnamese, I'd hate Americans for what they've done to our country. That's what I'd be saying. They're still picking up. There's still fucking mines there. and unexploded bombs and shells and things, and people are still being killed, and that's what you don't hear of. It's shocking.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wars, hate wars, hate any sort of violence, hate it. I really do.
And yet in Hollywood, they
Thrive
paint
on
this amazing country, this, America,
the America, come to America, the
come
lands
to
of
America.
the free, loads
Yeah.
of bollocks. They're the biggest terrorist state in the world because they start wars everywhere and people die. That's terrorism.
I think the most accurate depiction of Hollywood and America and the kind of piss take of America and Hollywood is South Park's creators did a film called Team America.
Yeah.
And it was such a piss take on Hollywood and the way America goes or acts kind of, with other countries, if you know what I mean. I'm not doing a great description of it, but it's a comedy, but there is a kind of a serious outline
Undertone, yeah.
or undertone on it, yeah.
Well, I don't mind films like that, like Once Upon a Time in America. Great film, and it gives you a true insight. One of the greatest things to come out of a film was a true story. How the mafia worked, the Cosa Nostra, how they worked. The Godfather, absolutely brilliant. Because remember when I said about Tulsa King? What's missing from it if you would have watched it? Now, I'll ask you, have you ever seen The Godfather?
Bits of it, yeah. Bits and bobs.
I'm not asking you anymore. Because I
forget the films.
No, what is missing?
Yeah.
As the film ran on smoothly, what's missing from it? Like, I know it might be an odd question to ask if you've never seen it, The Godfather. What's missing through it is cops, policemen. Right through it. You see one cop, who's in a corrupt cop, and he gets done away with, what I mean, by Michael Corleone. He gets done along with Salazzo. So they get killed. You don't see any cops interrupting every film. Every film, you always see a cop, if you know what I mean. And Tulsa King, you don't see cops in it. That's why I like it. And Tyler, what a name there, Tyler. Wow.
Tyler Jones.
Wow. Tyler what? Yes. Vietnam is actually a nice place these days. They make nice suits. Yeah. I wanted to go to Vietnam a couple of years, when I was all right. And I asked a friend of mine, he said, Frank, you'd love it. Because he goes over to the likes of Cambodia and Vietnam and Thailand. And, he loves visiting those places. I think it's for the son, to be honest. And I said, what was Vietnam like? And he went, you'd love it. He said, the darling people, he said. I'll never be able to make it, unfortunately. Not now. Not with me fucking health issues. But anyway, so I remember, where is he? The Anfield Roar says about a baddie. He's the best baddie I've seen. I'll tell you the great baddie in a TV series. It's only a short TV series. And I've been fucking saying this for ages. Watch Spotless. If you've got Netflix, just put Spotless in and it'll come up. Watch it. Watch it.
Spotless.
And there's an Irish gangster in it. And he is a proper Irishman, by the way. not an American import. You know what I mean? Trying to talk Irish. Yeah, well, not be yourself I'm talking to there. But, well, it's not one of them, but but in an American slang. Pass me the water. They can't say water. They can't say international. Do you know that? It's
Who? Irish people?
water. Yeah, water.
Oh, Americans, right?
Yeah, Americans. Yeah,
Water.
international. They can't pronounce the T's. So international. Anyway, so and he's Irish. Forget his name. And do you know what he was first in? What I've seen him in things. Then all of a sudden he just popped up. I watched a couple of series of it, episodes. That's all. And he was in it. Downton Abbey.
Was this a TV series in 2015?
What?
Spotless.
Oh, watch it.
I want to watch it, but I'm trying to figure out which one it is because there's one in 2015. It was a TV series. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, TV series. Yeah. What does it say? If the summary is about a lad who cleans up,
Yeah,
watch it. You'll see one of the best gangsters on there, and he's an Irishman. And this fella this is the diversity of this fella, how he can act. He played like a straight-laced like butler or something like that in Downton Abbey. And he's Irish. Fantastic actor. But you want to see him, he's the best gangster I've seen, leader of a gangster, that is. The best I've ever seen. And that includes all the Godfathers and everything else. Someone who's respected, or he respects them without violence, but he's fucking ruthless. Oh, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I do.
The best. So that's Spotless. If you watch it, I watched it one day. I was up early. I'm going back a few years ago, and I was sitting there like that. Put the telly on, as you do, and this thing kept Spotless, and I read a little synopsis, and it was Anglo-French thing. I went, I'll have a look at this, Fantastic. And I watched it back to back. There's only 2 other series I've watched back to back in one day. That was Spotless. The other one was The Outsider. But The Outsider, absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that back to back, The Outsider. And the other series was
Tulsa King.
I can't watch that. I have to wait every week because it's brand new. You see what I mean? So I have to wait, so I can't watch that back to back, or otherwise I would have done. Otherwise, the other one I was thinking of was Your Honor, about a judge, and about his binary opposite, who was a gangster, good gangster as well. Bryan Cranston, have you heard of him?
Yes.
He was in Breaking Bad and that,
Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. He's the judge. Watch it. They're 3 TV series I want you to watch. And they're all done like that. They're all
Your Honor.
Your Honor, yeah. Cranston. The Outsider with Jason Bateman. I like Bateman. I think he's good.
I was thinking of the other fella. I keep thinking I was like, but I thought you don't like Jason Statham.
Oh, you're not saying him, Jason Statham, are you? Well, I mean, I wouldn't watch a fucking advertisement with him.
Oh.
I always remember talking to me mate. He's dead now, Jake Abram.
Right.
His name came up, Jason Bateman, Jason Statham. He went, fucking awful, let me knock the ghost. And he went like, he's a nice fella, you know. I said, is he? He said, yeah, he likes Liverpool. I said, fuck him. I said, it's Liverpool, so what? He said, he's nice on the set. I said, no. I said, no one can be nicer than Keanu Reeves, because I was getting told about Keanu Reeves, to be honest. Absolutely brilliant. And believe it or not, do you know Brendan Fraser?
Yes.
He's another cracking fella.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Stephen Graham. I was going to Stephen's party, his birthday, and we were walking. Anyway, we were walking out, just me and him. And I said, what's Nick Cage like to work with? Because he worked with Nick Cage, and he went, a beautiful man.
Really? Oh, wow.
And his Season of the Witch he did with him. Good film, actually. And right at the end, he hired this big hall, this massive hall, to Nick Cage. And he invited all the crew along to this big hall. And the spread was unbelievable. The spread. And there was an envelope with all the names on of the crew. He knew every member of the crew, including the cleaning ladies and the cleaning gentlemen. You know, the people who brushed up and whatever. And there was an envelope on each name, and it had $2,000 in it.
Wow.
$2,000 and a big spread for them.
You see, I love to hear stuff like that because I love Nicolas Cage. I really, and do you know what? There was a movie there on Irish TV there last night that I was wasn't really tuned into, but it was Nicolas Cage and Meryl Streep was in the film, and Nicolas Cage plays two characters. He plays two brothers, two identical twins. And Meryl Streep is a writer, and he's a kind of a screenplay writer. The two of them, the two Nicolas Cage brothers, and one is successful, one is a little bit having writer's block or whatever. But I must actually have a look at that. But I love Nicolas Cage. It's great to hear that someone that you admire and respect is not.
And it's good, yeah, like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
see, we've got the money for Zoe's place, and I was going to approach Keanu Reeves and Paul McCartney. I'm going to approach them to help. Don't need to now because we've got the money, and it's been Zoe's place. And the fucking government have said, yeah, we'll fund it now. No fucking charities. These are for babies. These are for kids. Pitiful kids, pitiful parents going to see their children in a hospice. I went to see my mate in a hospital. I went to a bloody funeral. I'm sorry to say a bloody funeral, but I went to a funeral. One of my old neighbours, she died. I'm talking about older neighbours, if you know what I mean, from years ago.
Yeah.
And I went down to the church. It's only around the corner from me. And I went in there, you know, standing there. And a mate of mine's brother came up to me and he said to me, you better get up to, he mentioned this hospice, you know. I said, why? He said, our kid's in there. Now, I was good mates with my mate. And I went up. It fucking killed me. I walked in. I said, is Georgie Smith here? He said, yeah, in there. And he's just sitting there. No one was in there. And I went. I come home from work. I drove there. And, you know, I just went to see him, you know. The next day after his brother telling me, you better get up to. And I went, okay. He was up in Aintree. And I was looking, I said, he had a nickname for him. He's always called Mugger, you know, Mugger. I said, Mugger, I said, look, I said, I've just popped in to see you. I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I said, I've got a class. I've got a class to do. I said, it starts in an hour. I said, I've got to get down there. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, same time. And he went, all right, Frank, all right. He put his hand up. And I went, I fucking broke down. I broke down. I went on my fucking knees in the reception here. I couldn't help it. That's why I said to him, I've got to go. I didn't want to see him there like that. Then when I went up to see him, you know, the next day I kept going up. And, you know, I've done loads of, you know, after dinner speeches and things like that. And I've always given to Zoe's place over the years, always given, you know, charity. And I gave it a talk about the gunpowder plot about 4 weeks ago now. No, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. No, it was only the week before last. And the fella said, yeah, I said, no. I said, just see, I did it for they were doing this function for prostate cancer. I said, no, give it to them. Just, he said, no, I got it. I said, no, just give it to them. I said, I don't need it. You see what I mean?
Mm.
And, you know, governments don't help these people. Charities, we're trying to save lives. We've got hospices who do beautiful work and look after. And, you know, it reminds me of a poem, and hold them while they died. That's what it reminds me of, just that little line. And hold them while they died. That was a World War I poem. And that's what they do. They look after them. They actually look after the parents as well.
It doesn't even bear thinking about. I mean, the fact that if Zoe's place went under and the amount of families displaced and where are they going to go and where's the support, and the government sitting there and
it's what you said, displaced, but they were also in despair.
Yeah.
Despair.
They're at their worst moment of their lives.
Yes.
And all they're looking for is support. And we're saying that we can't give it to them. The government are saying that they can't give it to them. And it's down to the goodness and well-being of people that are also struggling with the cost of living, but are yet coming together. They're coming together and they're still giving. And there's these bastards that are on their lavish salaries, watching these people suffer, and like I like I just don't get it. I don't get it either. I mean, it really kind of, there's a million Zoe's places, in Ireland. There's plenty of situated, and what I mean is Zoe's place is very unique, but there are a million situations like this, both in Ireland and in England,
All
and
over the world.
all over the world. And there are good people that are dedicating their time. And, I don't call it a job, the job that these people do in hospices. It's a calling, and you've got to be a special.
It is brilliant, yes.
Got to be a special type of person to be able to do that, and to be strong for yourself, number one, but to be strong for other people that are going through something as horrific as that. And it just, stuff like that just bring, you could be having a shit day for whatever reason, and then you could look at something like that and say, what a selfish bastard I am. It just
that's what I mean.
into perspective.
I've always said we always take things for granted. We always do. But if you've got some sort of empathy with others, I think that's a good trait to have. As I said, I've given to charity, and you know what I mean. I've really given it to charity, because I've thought about it all the time, and I've always criticised governments for not helping these places.
Yeah.
That's why there's charity setups, charity, and
these are people that volunteer their time. These are people that aren't necessarily trained in that profession, and volunteered their time to create these charities. There's a charity over in Ireland, and it's
well, you've got the the medics over in Gaza, and they're fucking being killed.
Yeah,
well, we are, but certain countries don't take a blind bit of notice of that.
Well, there's a charity, Frank, in Ireland, that it's for suicide awareness. And it was basically made up, this organization or this charity was made up by a mother who lost her 13-year-old daughter to suicide. This is a woman that tried to make sense of her child passing away in the most tragic of circumstances, and try to do something positive by creating this organization where she does talks, and she tries to bring awareness to such a horrible thing that's, I mean, we could say it's not a taboo subject, but while it is not a taboo subject, nothing has been done for these poor, unfortunate creators. Nothing has been done. And this is all coming from these volunteers that are dedicating their time, their money, whatever. And the government are doing fucking nothing. They spent 2.5 million, I think it was, on magnetic pouches for young kids to put their phones in, so that they, aren't on their phones. And that's where they thought, that's going to solve things. It's not. So, as I said, it's a really difficult time in this country as well. We're going through a general election, and there's people coming up to the door with all these promises. And I think people that volunteer their time need to be credited and need support. And I mean, I give a little bit to Zoe's place through Scouts Republic, and shared it on all my platforms so that they could get more people funding. And that's, as good as I could give. I try and kind of give as much as I can to charities at work, kind of in a charity as well. So, you know, but it's
great. It's great what what you do. IVR Stella. Hello,
all right.
Frank, Shawnino. Hope you're both well. IBR, you've missed it, mate. We had a great show this morning. It was one of those shows. I finally got through to Hollywood, and we were interviewing Brad Pitt. And Brad's going to do a film over here in Liverpool. I think it's next March. He's coming over, and I'm going to meet him. And I'm having a little, like, do you know, like the way you can, like a fantasy football where you can win that, if you're a big Liverpool fan, and you can win that wonderful watch, if you can see it.
And Brad has been.
So I'm having a competition to meet Brad. Where two people can meet. You can bring your mate along. You can bring your brother along. If you're married, you can bring your wife along. If you've got a partner, you can bring her along or him.
It's going to be called An Evening with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, An Evening with Brad and Frank.
Yeah, Brad and Frank.
And that's where, it's going to be good. Really,
and I don't know whether we're allowed to announce this. I think we're okay to announce this. Brad has even said that he would be honoured to do a film about me as well, and that he's actually going to play me the leading role. So delighted for that news.
It's how he became a Liverpool. This is Sean. How he became a Liverpool supporter. And then, as he's getting older the way he is now, Brad will be like coming to Anfield, so he has to go to match.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch with LFC because as I said, he's filming here. 6 weeks, so the season won't be over, so we'll be filming there as well. They might have on loads of extras where he's going to be sitting in the stands. But have you got one of those people, voice coaches? Because I know he's played an Irish fella before.
Yes.
I forget what film it was in.
It was...
and he wasn't so good at the accent.
No, he was dreadful.
Yeah, do you think you'll get a voicing coach in?
He is working on that. I've had some contacts where he's constantly listening to the sound of my voice. I've recorded.
He's listening now, isn't he? As you know,
he's listening now. Thank you, Brad. Just make sure that you get the pronunciations correctly and not do the stereotypical Irish, Hollywood Irish accents. He's also going to be kind of telling the story of how I got into curling and how I became curling world champion.
Yeah, champion, yeah.
And then how I got the injury, and I have to pack it up. We kind of aren't too sure who are going to play my love interests. There's a few people. There's Margaret Robbie, but
but he said there's no Jennifer Aniston because they've really.
Yeah, that's a bit. No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, he said there won't be. It won't be a Jennifer, unfortunately.
No. Or Angelina. Can't be Angelina either. No, Jesus, no.
Angelina.
I think Brad has kind of got that in his contract, which I'm okay with, But Margaret Robbie, I think, is one. Who else was it? Oh, the one Anna Del something or other. I can't.
Del Rio. And what about Zoe
Kravitz?
Zelani.
Yeah.
She's nice.
Yeah.
She's nice.
They've all needed kind of pictures of my exes and my current bit on the side. So
I'll tell you, it'd be a perfect part for that. The love interest.
Yes.
And I think Brad knows her. And her name is Zooey Chanel. Zooey D. Chanel, the name is. American Zooey. Just put Zooey in and it'll come up. American actress Zooey. Chanel or something like that. Zooey, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She kind of, they all think she looks a bit like Katy Perry. Yeah.
How about that then? So
Well,
that's sorted, isn't it? Just after, I wonder if Brazil sends us a...
I won't lie to you. There has been kind of rumors linked that I have been linked with Zoe. I just call her Z, so that's why I didn't really know her name when you mentioned.
There's a film called, I liked it actually, and she's in it. She's in with Mark Wahlberg, and it's called The Happening. The Happening. And I think it's a great story on, how can I put this? It's what's happening. It's been what's happening, like in the 20th century, coming into the 21st century, with all this environmental stuff, the destruction of the environment. And there's a take on that, a big take on that, how nature fights back. And it's called The Happening.
I might actually watch that.
Zooey Chanel.
Yeah, Zoe.
Love it. Love it. I think Brad would love it as well. He might be on the phone to her now.
I said to him, look, Brad, whatever you think yourself, whoever can play my love interests and my exes, let's go for it,
Anna Friel?
Anna, well, you see, Anna and I used to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Anna? Do you know what?
I can't say too much.
No, don't say too much.
Okay. That's not been really made public.
No.
Until now. That's an exclusive now for everyone. Anna and myself.
I'll bet you anyone here, all on the chat, including him, Will Ferrell, Danny McBride, anything. I'll bet you they've never done what I've done. And do you know what that was?
What's that?
Give Jane Russell a kiss.
Jesus, no. You're damn right.
Bet they've never done that.
No.
And IBR says, where is Anna Friel these days?
She's upstairs.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. I was just going to say, do you see the piano behind Sean? She'd be coming down in approximately 10 minutes to give Sean a rendition of Oh Danny Boy.
Yeah, it gets me right here.
And Brad, right, I think you're zooming Brad, aren't you? And he's going to listen to
Brad is...
he might pick on it.
I guarantee you, Brad will come in through that door and he'll set the fire while Anna plays the piano.
Yep.
And we'll have our meeting on these couches very shortly.
Where is Anna Friel? She's in a series now. I forget what series, and I just seen her, seen a little bit.
The Life of a Curling World Champion.
That's got it.
That's one of the titles we're working on.
Yeah, I think the film has to be that, whatever. Jaws meets curling, something like that.
Well, Frank, I mean, we would really love if you could help out with the screenplay, and obviously we need, someone to play you as well, of course. So we were thinking of Des Lynam or
Fucking Des.
Des Lynam or hold on a second till we
Someone will come up and go, "Where's Des Lynam these days?"
Or Brian Cox. Brian Cox.
Brian Cox, yeah. No, Brian's, yeah. Did you ever watch him in Succession, Brian Cox?
Not Brian Cox as in the physicist.
Oh.
I can't even pronounce that. Not this Brian Cox fella. Wait a minute. Not that fella.
No, the great physicist.
Yeah, not him.
Did you know he was in a band?
Yeah, or Brian Cox.
Yeah.
The actor, or
no, Brian Cox, the great stargazer. Oh, he's good, Brian. Do you think he's a fucking bit too old though to play me?
He's a bit too old, but I mean, we're going to CGI the.
What about Gary Oldman? What about Gary Oldman?
Gary Oldman, yeah, actually, yeah.
Cillian Murphy's a bit too young.
Cillian Murphy. Yeah, I don't know. Cillian Murphy, I mean, there was rumors that Cillian Murphy was interested in playing my role, but I said, look, Cillian.
I tell you who can play me.
Who?
And I'm Virgin with a Scouse accent.
Go on.
Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne, yes. Gabriel Byrne. Gabriel Byrne's a fantastic actor. Sean must have wooed Anna by doing his crooner impressions on the piano. Well, I wooed her in a few other things.
And IBR says they need to replace Gary Lineker on Match of the Day with Frank.
I would actually sit up and watch that, so I would.
I think Sean will have to come along to give me blessings. Because you'd imagine just present it like that, and you're having a share and that'll make it stupid Richards, And go, is that a foul? No, no, that wasn't a foul. I go, fuck off. And you could come on then, in between them and just.
Yeah, I'll be like.
The set again. And they go, what the fuck's there? I go, yeah, he blesses me.
Blesses me when I see
all my sins are washed away.
Yeah.
IBS, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris can play me. He's 108. How old do you think I am, IBR?
I think the reason why IBR is saying that is because of your mixed martial arts background, Frank. I think that's why he just mentioned that. You know
never thought of that.
So
never thought.
Because we can't get Jason Statham to do it because you don't like him. That would be
Franco Sciornino and Giorgino. Giorgino.
Can you imagine that? That'd be great.
I've got Giorgino coming later on this afternoon. I hope he doesn't come while I'm out shopping with Francine. If our Francine's looking in at this, you know that she's a mental health nurse, don't you?
No.
They need help.
Oh.
Including the chat.
You should probably say, have I seen him before?
Yeah, look at her. Yeah, you're right there. Charles Bronson would have been perfect. Can't say the right. Oh, do you know what? We can't say Zinero now simply because he backed Kamala Harris against Trump.
He's too busy looking after his child. He's just become a dad again.
Are you sure that's not Pacino? No, it is. It's De Niro, isn't it?
It's De Niro, and it's also what's his face? De Niro and Al Pacino.
Al Pacino, yeah.
They both had a child at the same time.
Yeah, I said Pacino, because I know recently he's become a dad again.
Yeah,
I love the pair of them, to be honest.
I do too.
So, okay, right. We'll have to finish now. Okay. And do you know, there's a film I want you to watch,
Okay.
and everybody on here. And yeah, let's see. De Niro has strong links to Epstein and a paedophile ring in Paris.
I haven't heard that.
Do you know that Candace Owen? Did you hear it about? Did you hear it about? What's his fucking name? Who's hanging up on the cop?
Oh,
LeBron
James.
She didn't have give him some stick. He should be fucking taken down.
Why the fuck? But Frank, why aren't we doing something about that? Why aren't we saying something about that? Liverpool Football Club. Why is it still up there? Oh no, we do. No, I'm talking in general.
Does any other? I don't watch any other fucking pods. Do they say anything?
Well, I certainly know AKM LFC do. We talk about it all the time.
KLM, yeah.
And Standard Chartered should be ripped off the goddamn jersey. There's been 2 massive allegations made about Standard Chartered, right? That goes on for years, that they have been linked heavily with funding terrorism throughout the world. All right. Now, if you're linked with that, and then you've got Mr. I like dressing up in French maids' outfits and going to P. Diddy parties, up and his picture in front of the cop with all these with greats like Mo Salah and whoever else is up there with him. That's ridiculous.
Yusuf. Where's Midnight? I was talking about him.
We've yet to find out who's going to play Midnight Toker in the film.
Bela Lugosi. We'll take Bella up. Bela Lugosi. We'll take him up. Do you know one of the lads mentioned Nosferatu? I think it was the Anfield Road. And one of the best Nosferatus, the character Nosferatu I've seen, is an actor, he's dead now, called Klaus Kinski. Klaus Kinski. And you see him. Like
those old films, like there was no special effects there, and they were the scariest they were frightening, absolutely frightening.
Absolutely, no special effects. The only special effects that I seen, really, it's 2 films. One was an American in London, where he goes into a werewolf. That was brilliant. The other special effects was The Exorcist, where you see a head spinning around and things like that. Where's Midnight Toker? You said.
What was the film that you wanted us to watch? You said you had a film for us to watch.
I have to fucking play it back. I forget.
No, but you never said the film.
Oh, didn't I?
No. I know you said The Happening.
Yeah, The Happening. Yeah. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
Because I have got a film in mind, actually. We need to make more noise, but all those big channels are on FSG payroll. Like the Midnight Toker.
like the Midnight Toker. I don't think they're kind of. You see, if you say that they're on their payroll, they'll show you otherwise, right? Or they'll say otherwise. I think in order to stay with the club, I know this is getting a very football-y talk now. I think in order for them to keep their exclusives with the club and keep their perks with the club, you know, their interviews with former Liverpool greats and interviews with Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot and whatever, they have to say a certain thing, and if they upset anyone, they're out. So we know that this happens. You have two big YouTube channels that will claim to be the voice of Liverpool and Liverpool fans, and yet create divides within the fan base. You're a plastic, you're an out-of-towner, you're a day tripper. You know, the real fans, and how often is it that you've gone to Liverpool, blah, 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 right?
Go and support another club.
Go support another club. The usual spiel. And yet these would be people that will kind of slag and slate off people online. And yet how they get their money is through people online. If no one followed them, they wouldn't get money. These are also people that do tours in America, in Canada, in Ireland, and yet will slate the international fan base, which again, they shouldn't be, because, you know, Liverpool would not be where it is if it wasn't for the fan base as a whole. And I'm not excluding anyone out of that, and neither does Frank. So that's it. They're non-productive. They are dumbing down the fan base in order to keep their exclusives. You wouldn't really see them on the payroll, but certainly they depend largely on them. So that's all I'm going to say about that. For another,
I just want to try this. So you know what Jason told me to do. Yeah.
Mm.
No. No. Oh, you'll have to tell me again. No, is it up here?
Brittany Webb. Apparently, there were thousands of trafficked girls at the Epstein Island, and they have gone off the face of the world.
Yeah. I was watching Brittany Webb. Yeah.
Mm.
But they're all the politicians. That's why there's only been one scapegoat, and that's that Ghislaine Maxwell. There's been lots of, and I'm talking about, look, they've only got to bring one in. If they bring one in, they're going to make a deal with the prosecution and say, listen, I'll tell you who was there if you're there, if I walk away. That's what American justice is like. And, I watch a lot of these crime things, and you get people coming in, ex-cellmate. Oh, yeah, he told me that he killed her and all this and whatever. That's wrong, because I wouldn't trust a cellmate to tell anything, if it's the truth. If you know. No, fuck that. But anyway, Sean.
Yes.
Been great.
It has, absolutely. Really enjoyed it.
The film to watch. Let me think. I remember the film to watch, and you can get it on YouTube, and it's called Tokarev. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Tokarev.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Oh. So if I've got it up there, no, I can't fucking do anything.
Is that also called Rage?
What?
Tukarev, is it also called Rage?
I don't know.
So I think it's a Nicolas Cage film.
Yeah, it is a Nicholas. Yeah, that's it. No, it mightn't be Rage, you know. I've seen that Rage. I don't.
So it's, if you look at it here, I'll show you here. So it has two.
Let's see. Soccer. For fuck's sake. That's it. Tokarev. That's it. Tokarev.
Yeah, it's the same. It's been called Tukarev, and I think it's also been called Rage.
Okay, well, yeah, just watch it. It's brilliant. It really is. It's a cracking film.
Yeah, I will watch that.
So watch
You
that.
know me, I like Nicolas Cage, so it'll be good.
So watch that. So you can review that for next week.
I will. Yeah.
I mean,
I might have a few meetings with Brad Pitt though, so I won't be on Thursday's show because Brad and I are going into town, and of course Anna will be there too. We'll be having a chat about the film. And
what are you going to do? Bring Zooey over? What are you going to do?
Zooey's going to come over too. Yeah, she'll be an hour late because of flights and whatnot. So Zooey will be in, and obviously
one of them can play your sister, and the other one a love interest.
Yeah, well, like you see, I don't want Zooey to be playing me sister because Zooey and myself, so I can't really have an actual love interest.
To be honest, she would go with sister. So Anne would be ideal, as the loving girlfriend, and who's left in despair because you're saying, "I'm going to Anfield. What are you going to do about it?"
I'm going to buy shares in Liverpool, and I'm going to get LeBron James off the bloody cop. Because what the hell does he be doing on the cop?
Could you imagine Brad saying that?
Oh,
going in. We have to fictionalize where he goes in. To the looking for the chairman's office, Werner's office, and saying to them, "Where's this fucking office? I want to see this fucking fella. Where's this office? I want to see this fella." Werner, that is. And he said, "He's not in there. I want to fucking burst the door open." And Werner's not there. Werner's not there.
The other thing I wanted to say to you, Frank, and on a more serious note, is we are doing interviews with wet fishes to play John W. Henry.
Yes.
So, like, there's a trout that we're going to have a chat with, and then,
we could get a Sicilian in, and we could come in. Yeah, he could come in.
Yeah,
and just unfold the king and go. He sleeps with the fishes. Domani pesca.
Yeah.
Domani pesca.
Christopher Walken. Maybe get Christopher Walken to play John W. Henry.
Yeah, because he's done.
Oh wow! What's this?
Yeah. God, blimey, you didn't have to take him out. You could play him yourself.
Well,
Brad could be playing you, and you could be playing John Henry. But no, you wouldn't want to play him, would you?
Linda, what is this club?
Oh. People will be looking at us going, "Who's the fucking hell are these?"
I might get a lawsuit of Christopher Walken for trademark.
Mentioning his name.
Yeah, I'm trying to do an impression.
See that?
Yeah, the dogs are at the back. Thanks for that.
They were trying to play the piano before, but
they were trying to play the piano. Yeah. Anna is playing frisbee with them.
think one of the dogs was playing with Anna, to be honest. So
I think so.
shouldn't have said that, should we?
Oh God.
Said Anna's playing with the dogs. But anyway, Sean, I've got to get ready for my lovely daughter coming down and
Yes.
to take me for a bit of shopping. And
Whatever you do, don't play her this video because she'll have me committed.
No, definitely not. Pair of us. If Francine looking in, she'll be down and go, come on, Dad, you're going. And she'll drive me to fucking some little thing, you know, a little unit. She'll go in there. Go in there.
She'd be like, come on, Sean, we're not letting you back out again.
Two fellas in my coat. Yeah, look at that. Grazie, Franco e Cianino. Thank you, IBR. Anyway, just wait for our Francine, get ready. And I don't know whether to get a shave. See, if I grew a beard, all this is black. All that's black.
But it'd be black here, would it?
Yeah, and white here. It'd be like a fucking badger.
You could kind of do a Hulk Hogan job. All you have to do is just dye that blonde. There you go. You could play Hulk Hogan in the new Hulk Hogan film.
Hulk. Yeah, because I've got my martial arts, haven't I?
There you go. Do you know what I mean? You've got the physique, so you're in there. Like, do you know?
Got the physique. Do you believe in love?
Do you believe in?
Oh, you know, that's so funny. A little monkey fella.
Oh, the little monkey. When he starts singing, when Will, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 now because I'm reliving the film. So I did say 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.
But what about when they're hanging there? You know,
yeah,
and they're like that.
Yeah.
You know, like them things that, you know, you pull the back, you know, like ball bearings, and they go click and they go click.
Yeah.
Just like,
and Will is like, yeah, that's great form, that. You're doing a great job.
I'll tell you the film to watch.
Go
Keep
on.
it in the comedy theme. And Jennifer Aniston's in it.
Love Jennifer.
And I don't like him anymore because he went over to see Zelensky. I fucking forget his name anyway. Is Along Came Polly.
Along Came Polly.
Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, who steals the film.
He was such a great actor. He was
brilliant, Sam.
Oh man,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But that Along Came Polly, and for the Christmas one, we'll be doing Christmas ones next week. Is that all right to watch?
Jesus, I'll tell you what. I'll watch Along Came Polly, and I will watch Tokarev or Rage. They would be my 2 films.
Yeah, Tokarev. Yeah, you've got to. And we'll be talking about Christmas shows next week. One of them to watch, I don't know whether you can get it on YouTube, is Cameron Diaz, Jude Law, Jack Black, and I always forget this actress's name. Brilliant. Kate Winslet. Yeah. And it's called The Holiday.
The Holiday.
The Holiday. It's really.
I think I've seen that years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything with Cameron Diaz, my God, in heaven.
Brings back happy memories. Did you know that she was a porn star in real life?
No. Yeah. No, well, I didn't know that she was a porn star. I know that she had done.
Yeah, she's on all these adult films.
Okay.
Did a
Excuse me.
little-
Excuse me. Will I just go on to my my Google?
Go on to my site.
Whoa.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
Porns. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, I'm going to finish it, Sean. Or shall I call you?
Sorry.
I'll call you Brad from now on.
Call me Brad.
Now, don't forget Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday I'll be on. Thursday I won't be.
Okay, so I'll see you on Thursday. No, you won't. I'll see you on Tuesday. I've got my history show on Monday.
Yes.
My history show. I have the football show. I might do, I'm not saying I will, but I might do a conspiracy theory show on Wednesday. Back to the football on Thursday. And then it's, what is it on the Friday? Yeah, current affairs. I'll be having a current affairs program. And then back to the film and Tokaroff and Along Came Polly. And Paul saying, have a good weekend, Frank and Sean.
Thank you, Paul. Same to yourself, my friend, and IBR.
Yeah,
and
everybody all on the chat. Have a great weekend. Hope to see somebody on Monday.
Absolutely.
I don't know. But anyway, I'll see you all on wherever. I'll just say whenever.
Whenever.
Okay. And I'll definitely see you on Tuesday. All right.
Absolutely, Frank. Take care.
And you. See you later. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much.
No bother.
Chat, thank you. Thank you so much for keeping Sean and I company. And thank you for suggesting films as well and TV series.
Anna, I'll be there in a minute. Sorry.
Is that Anna? Was she shouting down at you?
Shouting down at me, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I wish I could be doing that with Anna, but unfortunately, I've got Francine coming down to drag me out to go shopping. See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
See you.